Hello viewers, today we are going to discuss foundation of the Indian National Congress. As you know that this Indian National Congress, which played an important role in the freedom struggle of India, was founded in 1885 by Alan Octavian Hume. But before going into this detail, first we will discuss what were the circumstances and what were the precursors of Indian National Congress. As you know that the poverty of the Indians, English education, as well as the reform movement among the Indians, this promoted feeling of nationalism among the Indian, as we have discussed in our last video. So this filled patriotism, brought patriotism among the Indians, and Indians started feeling that they should have one organization which could meet their demands, through which they could raise their issues to the British. So various organizations came into existence at different places. For example, one association was found, Zamindar Association, British India Association, Bengal British Association, Madras Association, Bombay Native Association, like that. But these all were not having much influence and local in character. Then there came some organization which played important role, like the East India Association, which was founded in October 1886 by Dadabhai Nauroji in London. He believed in the British system, and he knew that they can remove the problems which Indians are facing. That is why, to raise the demands of the Indian, he founded it in London, as well as various other branches were opened in different parts of India, in Bombay, in Calcutta, Madras, at different places, as well as Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. It was founded in 1870 by Justice Ranade. Then Indian Association, it was founded by Surendranath Banerjee in 1876 at Kolkata. So these all organizations tried to organize the Indians. They organized their different meetings, they raised their different demands of the Indians, but issue remains same, that they could not raise, they could not unite the Indians together, and these were all local in character and could not achieve much. So when this Indian National Conference was called in 1883 at Kolkata by Surendranath Banerjee under this Indian Association, this called a national conference, and in this conference good number of participants, important leaders, they participated, and they were willing to unite to raise demands of the Indians so that they could meet the solution of their problems. So this Indian National Conference played an important role and became as the important precursor of Indian National Congress. So the policies followed by Lord Lytton, passing Indian Arms Act, Vernacular Press Act, reducing the age of civil service appearance for the Indians from 21 to 18, as well as the Albert Bill controversy. These all controversies, problems led to the Indians to think, to find out such organization which could meet their demands and promoting their feelings through an organization. So Indian National Conference organized by Surendra Banerjee became a landmark, and then later on this foundation of Indian National Congress, it was laid by one of the British civil servant, retired civil servant Alan Octavian Hume in 1885. So he laid the foundation of this Indian National Congress. That is why he is known as the father of the Indian National Congress. Actually, his main motive was to draw the attention of the British towards the drawbacks of their administration and to find out the solution of these problems through an organization rather than creating problem and to create law and order problem. It was better that Indian raised their demand through a proper channel, through this conference, Indian National Congress. So his main motive was to find the solution of the problems and to run the administration smoothly. So it was Indian National Congress which organized its first session from 28 December to 31st December in 1885 at Bombay. Although its first session was supposed to take place at Pune, but plague broke out over there and it could not held there, then it was shifted to Bombay. So it was presided over by W.C. Banerjee, and in this Indian National Congress Delhi meeting, it was attended by 72 delegates, which include the prominent Indians like Dadabhai Nauroji, Surendra Banerjee, Badruddin Tayyabji, and many other leaders who were prominent in Indian National Congress leaders of their respective areas. They all participated in this conference. So earlier its name was Indian National Union, but on the recommendation of Dadabhai Nauroji, its name was called as Indian National Congress. As far as the objectives of this Indian National Congress are concerned, the immediate objectives were first to promote friendly relation between nationalists and political workers. So all the nationalists, they come together, they discuss, they develop friendly relation among themselves. Various workers from different parts of the country, they come and discuss what are their issues, what are their problems, what solutions they can find out. So this was one of the objectives, to develop friendly relations between the nationalist political workers, as well as to develop and consolidate the feeling of national unity irrespective of caste, religion, region, race, whatever it is. So they wanted to develop a feeling of national unity irrespective of any of the ground. Then to formulate the popular demands and present them before the government. This was one of the important aspects, that they prepare a list of demand, what do they want. So their main purpose was to prepare a popular demand and to present them to the British, that these are our issues, please look into these issues, find out the solution, we want this. So they consolidate demand and they will hand over to the government, as well as train and organize the public opinion in the country. It was another objective that they wanted to organize the public opinion in the country, that all the Indians, they develop an opinion about the different issues they are facing. They develop feeling of nationalism. They develop consciousness towards the issues they are facing. So if its purpose was to awaken the Indians and to educate them about their important aspects, about their different problems, which was the demand of the time, to raise their issues, to unite and to fight against the oppression done by the British. So Indian National Congress from the very beginning became very popular among the Indian masses, and its popularity increased day by day. The second session of Indian National Congress took place in the year 1886 at Kolkata, and it was attended by 450 delegates. Then third session took place at Madras in 1887. It was presided over by Badruddin Tayyabji. Second session was presided by Dadabhai Nauroji. And in this third session, it was attended by 600 delegates. So in first session 72 delegates only, second session 450 delegates, and third session 600 delegates. So it shows that its graph increased at a faster rate and its popularity increased among the middle class educated Indians very fast. Although the uneducated common masses, they were not knowing much about the activities of the Indian National Congress, but educated middle class Indians, the popularity of Indian National Congress increased very much. As far as the demands of the Congress are concerned, most of the demands were moderate in nature. They continued to follow the policy of making moderate demands to the British and followed the method of prayer, petition, resolution, memorandum, meetings. These were some of the methods followed by them. Some of their demands were: they wanted the expansion of legislative councils so that there should be some representation of the Indians also in that. Then Indian National Congress wanted the removal of poverty by doing the advancement and development of agriculture as well as industrialization of the country. Indian National Congress wanted administrative reform in that they wanted that the higher post should also be given to the Indian. As you know that Indians were not given higher posts. Indian wanted the reduction of military expenditure, as during this time they were spending huge amount of money on military expenditure rather than spending on the developmental aspects. Then there was the demand of spread of technical and general education so that after completing education Indian could get employment. They wanted to hold the civil service examination both in England and India, as this time the civil service examination used to held in England only, and Indians, if any they want to appear for that examination, they have to go to England. As well as freedom of speech and press, so that they can develop they can raise their demands through press. So speech and press freedom was very much important. They wanted to have arms, as well as many other demands were there which they were raising time to time in each of their sessions. If we see the attitude of the government towards the Indian National Congress, So Lord Dufferin in the beginning welcomed this move, and he hoped that it will improve the relationship between the British and the Indians, and he was happy over this development. He thought that it will use to as a safety valve. Whatever the problems Indians have, they will hand over their demand to the Congress, and Congress will work as a mediator between the people and the British. So he wanted to use it as a safety wall between the common masses and the British, as well as he thought that it will perform the function like the opposition parties play in England. They do the constructive criticism and participate in the developmental works also. So it was his thinking that it will work like a opposition in England, as well as he thought that government would be able to understand the real feeling and sentiments of the people, what their demands are, what do they want, what their feelings are toward the British. So through the Congress he will be able to understand the real sentiments of the common masses towards their problems, towards their issues, what do they want. So that is why when the session of Indian National Congress took place in 1886 at Kolkata, so he organized a tea party, garden party for the all the delegates of the Congress who came to attend the conference, and this led to further development when the third conference was held at Chennai, Madras. So the governor of Chennai also gave the tea party to all the delegates. So it shows that in the beginning it led to the friendly relation between the British and the Congress. But with the passage of time, when the Indians started raising their demands, they started demanding more to, and they started drawing the attention towards the Indian problems in a rigorous way. Then the relation between the Indian National Congress and the British became sour, and then now British followed the policy of divide and rule to fall, so that they can divide the Congress and they do not press their demands so rigorously, and that is why they asked some of the Muslim leaders to organize themselves and to make their own party, and they followed policy of divide and rule. So with the passage of time this continued, and Indians continued to follow their demand, and the gap between the Congress and the British became more wide. Thanks for watching the video. Next video we will discuss about the moderate policies and their demands, as well as the uh, assertive nationalist in next video.